What's going on, guys? I just got up to Lago. I am planning on doing an oil change today. I was hoping to fly, but the Taft does not look very favorable as far as the winds go, so may not actually get to fly, but at least want to do an oil change and run the engine a little bit. But what brought about this oil change was a little incident that happened on Saturday. I went flying with Zach, and my oil filter cracked, or has a crack in it, and so there's oil leaking out the filter, all over the engine, all over the side of the plane, underneath the plane. It was just an absolute mess. I'm lucky that there was even oil left in the filter. This is the second time this has happened, so I'm curious to get your feedback on that, if you guys are having a similar issue or might have an idea of what's causing this. So there was tons of oil, streaking down the side of the plane, underneath the plane. It was all over the place, really, streaking everywhere. So here is the oil filter with the hose clamp on it, the safety wire, and somewhere down here on the bottom, we'll see once we take it off where it actually cracked. Let's get the hanger opened up here and get a little of that airflow in. First thing we need to do is get the oil back into the reservoir. We do that by rotating the propeller to push that oil back up into the reservoir. So what we're listening for is a burp. And there's our burp. Yeah, it looks like there's quite a bit of oil in there, so maybe we didn't lose as much as we thought yesterday, or Saturday. And because I want to see how much, I got this paint bucket that I'm going to drain the oil into, just to see how much is actually in there. All right, nice thing about this fuel container is it's got a quick release valve that you just need to push up on, and it will drain the oil reservoir. Ideally, I have a little hose that I can connect to this, but I cannot seem to find that. So we'll just use a good old oil oil funnel, and drain it into our container here. Well, I feel much better about the flight yesterday, given that there is over a quart in there and over 2 quarts in here. So it looks like there was plenty of oil in the plane when I got back, but there sure was a lot streaking down the side and the bottom of it. All right, let's get this filter off and see if we can find the crack. Yep, I think we found our culprit. Looks like it's possibly cracked right here on top. But let's get it off and inspect it a little bit better. All right, so before I put this new filter on, I got a little bit of oil on my finger, put it around the edges. Apparently this gives it a much better seal when you are attaching it. And we're going to screw that on. All right, put it on until the metal meets up. And we're going to give it a 3/4 turn. So basically, this 6H61 is going to be flipped around. All right, so the reason I got these Tempest oil filters is a recommendation from my friend James, and it has its own little wiring harness on the end of it. So instead of trying to wrap the hose clamp around, which appears to keep damaging it, I'm going to hook this safety wire directly to the clamp. Well, oil change successful. Got everything put back together, and she is safely in the hangar. Let's double check the oil one more time. All right, let's check the oil one more time before we close up shop. Got to take it off. Need to burp it. All right, looks pretty good. It's really hard to tell. I think if you get into the light, you can see it's about 3/4. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. It's about 3/4 full, which is great. Well, guys, it ended up being a little bit of a late night, but got the oil changed. My first oil change on the Highlander. Went out and flew it a little bit and tested it out, and everything looks great. So with that, guys, I'll see you on the next video.